Let's talk about the super lazy portfolio. This is another extremely popular and incredibly convenient option, especially for those just starting out with retirement savings, or for those who truly prefer a completely hands off approach. Target date funds, often abbreviated as TDFs. Imagine if you could buy one single investment that automatically diversifies you across the asset classes that we discuss, like stocks, international stocks, bonds, all with just one click. Well, that's exactly what a target date fund does. By investing in just one TDF, you gain instant built in diversification. But perhaps the biggest advantage of the super lazy portfolio is the part where it automatically rebalances. The fund managers handle all of this for you. As the market values shift over time, they automatically buy and sell assets within the fund to maintain its intended allocation. You never have to lift a finger or check or adjust your portfolio yourself. This is a huge benefit for busy individuals or for anyone who feels overwhelmed by investment decisions. The secret sauce, or the core mechanism behind how target date funds work, is something called the glide path. Think of the glide path as a predetermined strategic roadmap for your fund's asset allocation. It refers to the gradual shift in fund investments mix over time, designed to automatically adjust your risk profile as you get closer to retirement. Here's how it works. You may recall our asset allocation. And as you can see, when you were young, you're invested mostly in stocks. You do have some bonds, but as you age or get closer to retirement, the bond section of portfolio increases. And you can see how it changes over time. This is the glide path. So as you age, you decrease in stocks and you increase in bonds. The rationale behind this sound financial planning is that younger investors have a longer horizon time, so therefore can afford to take more risk and hopefully potentially get higher returns. But as you get closer to retirement, your priorities shift towards preserving what you've saved and generating stable income. The glide path handles this transition for you, seamlessly aligning your investments with your changing life stage and financial goals. So we explore lazy portfolios like the three fund portfolio, and we also looked at target date funds. Both are excellent options for long-term retirement savings, but they have different experiences. Let's compare those differences. In the lazy portfolio, for control, you have definitely more control over your portfolio. You pick the funds, you could pick the asset allocations, you could pick the percentages. In the target date fund, you have much less control. The asset allocations are already predetermined and professionally managed by the fund provider. All you need to do is pick the date that you plan to retire, and they handle the rest. Now, for rebalancing, in the lazy portfolio, you have to do the rebalancing. You should do this once or twice a year. In the target date fund, that's automatic. The fund managers take care of that. They do the automatic rebalancing, and they also adjust the guide path as you get closer to the retirement age. Costs: the lazy portfolio is usually less expensive, especially if you're using index funds. With the target date funds, there are target date index funds. They are also inexpensive, but they're not as cheap as the lazy portfolio. And the guide path, well, with the lazy portfolio, you have to define your own risk tolerance and manually adjust your asset allocation over time. You were sort of in charge of that. For the target date funds, it's already predefined. It's already set up by the fund provider. All you have to do is sort of sit back and let them do the guide path for you. So after looking at the features, which option sounds best for you? The lazy portfolio, if you want more direct control over the funds you choose, are comfortable with doing rebalancing, you enjoy a hands-on approach where you can fine-tune your portfolio, and it may even be potentially lower costs. On the other hand, with the target date funds, you prioritize simplicity and convenience above all else. You prefer a completely hands-off investing. You set it and you forget it. You're also looking for a one-stop solution. And if you're in a 401k or a 403b, you might want to check. Sometimes they automatically default you to a target date fund. Anyway, both are excellent low-cost funds to build wealth for retirement. The best choices depends on your personal preference for your involvement and control.